With shades of Jet Set Radio made it with a combo shooter, our game today tells of a slick, high-octane shooter that combines arena combat and stadium roller skating to deliver a stylish gameplay loop. Welcome to Second Opinion, where we dive deeper into the games that you may have passed over for various reasons. Strap on to skate as we deliver a second opinion for Rollerdrome. Rollerdrome by developer Roll7, notable creator of Ollie Ollie, returns with Rollerdrome, a combo-focused action game that is centered around a core gameplay loop of expending ammo to kill enemies, pulling off acrobatic tricks, and avoiding attacks, all while earning both points and multipliers that is put towards the final grade at the end of the stage. Kills increase your point multiplier while resetting the combo timer, while pulling off spins, flips, grabs, and grinds will net you the points themselves, expand ammo to kill enemies, do tricks to regain ammo, kill enemies to continue your combo train, do tricks to gain the points to get multiplied by the chain. To help you in your carnage is an expendable bullet time resource that buys you time to aim and shoot as you soar through the air. And thankfully, the lack of the need to plant your landings mean you can get as creative as you want with how much shooting or tricking you want to be doing in the air with no fear of overcommitting. This smart split into two gameplay mechanics incentivizes the player to actively partake in both features and rewards the player for doing so. This core gameplay is supplemented by various interesting gameplay mechanics. Taking a look at the small but unique weapon pool, you have weapons that are easy to use, automatically locking onto enemies and dealing steady guaranteed damage. And you'll have weapons that require manual precise aiming, often having a unique effect, but punishes poor use with their low ammo reserves. Handguns, for example, will lock on automatically, have decent range, and uniquely stagger enemies until you stop firing, but deals damage quite slowly. Grenade launchers, on the other hand, need to be manually aimed and adjusted for gravity, but will deal a lot of damage in an area if it connects. Shotguns deal more damage than handguns, but can cause unique enemy effects to trigger because of its slower firing rate. And the Z11 laser gun rewards precision with unlimited range and high damage, but requires you to take the time to charge it up. These unique weapons interact with an equally unique pool of enemies, some of which have their own unique abilities that react with the attributes of your weapons. As an example, warheads will deploy a temporary shield after taking their first hit, which punishes slow-firing weapons, but rewards the constant stagger of the handguns, or the high damage of the laser. Riot guards operate almost opposite to this, starting with a shield that needs to be depleted with damage before offering you a window to deal damage to the guard themselves. To deal with them, you'll often want to rely on burst damage to take advantage of the damage window after depleting their shields. These enemies, of course, are not going to stand there and accept their fate. Each enemy has their own way of trying to deal with you, striking, shooting, stomping, or bombing. Taking damage is obviously detrimental to your health, but while health is easily recovered by skating over health pickups dropped by deceased enemies, taking damage also cuts the remaining time on your multiplier, increasing the risk of ending your combo. As a lot of your time is going to be airborne with nowhere to steer away from danger, your only option to avoid damage is to utilize the dodge button, which not only allows you to avoid damage, but also rewards precise dodge timing with a unique slow motion state that buffs your weapons and gives them some unique effects within the duration. Finally, tying up all these weapons, enemies, and tricks together is a mission challenge checklist structure that offers you guidance on how you want to approach the stage, and also replayability to complete all the objectives. Now, it's not all disco in the arena with Rollerdrome, as there are some worthy concerns within the experience. As simple of an idea doing tricks is, you'll be required to vary up the tricks you pull off, as repeating them will cause them to go stale, decreasing the points they generate. This would be all fine and dandy, but the tricks that require two-directional input sequences often do not reliably execute, likely because of a too short or too precise buffer for the inputs. Similar games would generally use analog stick rotational inputs to execute advanced tricks, which feel more reliable over something like an up-down or a left-right sequence. In addition, grinds and wall rides do not feel particularly satisfying to use, often just being a thing that you do at a specific limited part of the arena, or an objective that you are required to complete. A general unprecise feeling to the physics also makes it difficult to execute these tricks, lacking the sort of magnetic stickiness you would want to precisely land a trick with. At other times, you'll awkwardly bounce off surfaces and need a moment to reacclimate yourself, which disrupts the pathing that you may have had in mind. Pathing in general sometimes feels uninspiring, as map design generally leans towards the simple and sparse. You'll often find you won't get the euphoric feeling of chaining your tricks from one end to the other, and rather simply just execute a trick up a half pipe, kill a few enemies, and move on to the next one. During combat, the dodge button is a little too easy and simple. Simply hitting it gives you invulnerability without punishing you for haphazard use, and even if the screen fills up with snipers, missiles, mines, and lasers, you'll often be able to just mash the dodge button to safety in a pinch. Wrapping this experience together is a story that is executed in an interesting manner, with occasional first-person story explorative sections, with sparse but decent voice acting, where you learn of the characters and the world events that encapsulate it, but in the end, felt a little distant to the experience. With these observations in mind, let's put together the key factors that will decide whether or not this game is for you. While there are some mechanical issues with its movements, the general flow of the game is still very enjoyable. It's very easy to pick up and learn the initial gameplay mechanics. The gradual addition of weapons and enemies offer a decently gentle difficulty curve. This is a short experience, but at the same time doesn't overstay its welcome, ending as a 2 to 5 hour experience depending on completion. And it offers a more difficult New Game Plus for those who want to keep going. Rollerdrome will be of interest to those who enjoy the following themes. If you want to easily experience a mechanically unique game, you enjoy a shorter game that you can feasibly complete in a sitting or two. Both those who like being rewarded for having precise aim, and those who are not as precise and would appreciate easier to handle weapons. And completionists who like checking off objectives. However, be wary if you prefer avoiding the following. If you don't enjoy a mechanically low skill ceiling game and want to constantly feel like you're improving. You get bored without interesting map or locale design and resent the lack of story. You become easily frustrated by occasional mechanical hiccups. And if you're looking for a constantly replayable or long experience. Finally, to complete our look today, I offer my personal opinion for my experiences. Rollerdrome is a one-off experience whose occasional hiccups did not distract me from enjoying the overall game. The core gameplay loop was unique and fun to me. The parts that were not as solid did not end up frustrating me thanks to the low running time and compact experience. Rollerdrome should be enjoyable to most people. And that is the end of the video. Thanks for watching Second Opinion, where we try to give a second chance to those games that we may have passed over in the past. If that sounds interesting to you, why not hit the subscribe button down there to get notified when new videos pop up. Let me know down in the comments whether you liked the video or not, maybe hit me up with some new ideas. If you want to see these games in action, why not join us on Twitch at twitch.tv/secondop, that's secondop with the number 2. And most importantly, enjoy more games. See you on the next one.